This is With an Ohio Bias, a podcast for real fans with D and Jake. That Frankie Lindor grand slam, man. I mean, this guy has arrived. We knew he already had arrived. We've been talking about him for years, man. But I think now the rest of the world knows who Frankie Lindor is. And, he's a Cleveland Indian, and he's here for a while.
Well, if they don't know, they're going saying it. I know I've been saying I think he's going to be the face of baseball, not the face of the Indians, not the best player on the Indians. I think this guy is going to be one of the Bryce Harper, Mike Trout type guys. And to get that grand slam like that, I mean, we already got our Tom Hamilton great call already. It was the classic Tom Hamilton, a swing and a drive. So that was really cool to hear him early on in the season in a walk, not a walk-off, but, the ninth inning winning home run from him. And there's nothing better than seeing fans cry either. Anytime you can make a fan put their hands on the road, put their hands on their face and start balling up the surrender cobra, that's always good stuff. So good win down there in Arlington.
Well, the best thing about that game was the mistakes that happened in the fifth inning and how he was mad at himself. And the one thing is, we all get frustrated if it's in life or anything, but the real thing is your response. And, it wasn't even that first at-bat. It was the at-bat that he had before that where he really battled. You know what I mean? You seen him turn that anger and funnel it into something positive. And then the grand slam is just, and I got to say something about Edwin Encarnacion almost hit one out dead center in the eighth inning. So, it's not just him pulling this wagon for the Indians. So everybody's doing their part, man. Definitely exciting.
You make a great point with the upset at himself and trying to vindicate himself with as far as Lindor, costing them 2 outs by running to the bag on a double play and then overthrowing it. That really, really hurt Danny Salazar. And Lindor was upset about how much he hurt Danny Salazar and said how he should have had a better outing and it was his fault, even after the game. You hit that big home run and he wasn't overjoyed and jumping up and down because he hit the grand slam. He was still mad at himself from that. So, that's how much this guy cares in Lindor. And
just to go back to Salazar and Lindor, that's the true making of a team. Just that whole dynamic that you talked about, especially for baseball, which is a little bit more difficult to lift each other up. Now we're talking about that pitcher and, that those players in the outfield playing defense. You know what I mean? That hitting to pitching dynamic is this perfect example of that conversation. And here's the other part, man. The honesty of him talking about that right after the game is just awesome. Just awesome. This Indians team is fun to watch, man. They go up and down. It was a bad one last night, catching some runs. But, hey, I'll take that if I get to, turn to the game and watch a thrilling grand slam, and watch that highlight for 2 days. I mean, that's good enough for me. So it's going to be some ebb and flow to the season. I think that's a perfect example of it. You can hear more of things like this on With an Ohio Bias. Be checking us out, WithAnOhioBias.com. You can find us on iTunes, the full podcast on iTunes. Just search With an Ohio Bias. Give us a like, subscribe, and write us a review even. And we would really appreciate that. Thanks for listening, and we will talk at you next time.